Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. The next exercise we're going to look at are amplifying power. Now, when we have gone through dozens and dozens of methods of amplifying power, this particular method is learning how to flux between quantitative and qualitative sensitivity and opening the energy system up. And so let me explain this. Now, if you put yourself in a place of power and you vital breathe, you're flooded with power from the location or the group or the person you're with. That power and that extra volume of energy going through you overloads the system, and the contrast of where you normally feel energy to where you now feel energy creates this openness to feel more. So putting yourself in a place of power and having a high amount of volume of energy going through you, the contrast allows you to feel energy more efficiently. Now, once you've had this feeling open under a large volume of energy, the feeling is also there under a situation of less energy, because your energy system remembers that contrast. So you want to tune it in straight away and get at least 3 sessions to anchor in that new sensitivity, that new capacity to feel, and take ownership of it by practicing. So this is the volume method, that so much energy washes through your system, you simply feel more based on this contrast. Now, this is contrast principle. We utilize that same idea for heightening sensitivity by generating stillness. When you slow the breath down and slow the energy down, there's a natural moving towards the astral which takes place. Now, this creates deeper equanimity, deeper relaxation, deeper quietude, and this deeper quietude, when applied to vital breathing, allows you to feel more, because of the contrast of where your mind normally is in a state of stress and static to where your mind is in the quiet space. There's more space for you to feel. So release static, you feel more. Now, this quietude environment can be created in a multitude of different ways. The first is watch your thoughts arise and fall away until a still space between your awareness and thoughts arise, and then pay attention to that still space until static further dissolves, and then move your awareness to life force breathing and you'll feel more life force. That's method 1. Method 2 is breath control. Slow the breath down, you do relaxation breathing with vital breathing, relaxing, releasing, slowing everything down until you move into a deeper astral state. The energy thickens and everything generates a state of slowness, and through that state of slowness you're going to find that you will feel more because there's less static to resist you feeling. That's method number 2. Method number 3 is regulating space. When you are vital breathing, let's say into the ball, and you feel the ball, let your mind become a little bit larger than the space of the ball and pay attention from that larger space. Because the mind, it occupies more space than what it's paying attention to, that will automatically reduce the level of stress in the space of the consciousness, making you subtly less anxiety, less stress, by simply dissolving that mental static into a larger space, and thereby you feel more. So look from outside of your meditation object with more space, and you'll be more sensitive to your meditation object. The next method is by going into the stillness underneath the meditation object. So you need to have done the step-on mental training to the point of paying attention on mental vacuity. Then you pay attention to your meditation object, which in this case is the life force quality feeling, and then you go into the stillness underneath it. When you go into the stillness underneath the meditation object, you need to do this by paying attention to the meditation object in a very particular way. That there's life force, then there's consciousness paying attention to life force, there's the emptiness upon which the life force is vibrating, and inside those layers between the emptiness of where the life force is vibrating to the emptiness and stillness underlying consciousness, to the emptiness and stillness underlying information, so underlying the mind, the astral information field and the vital field, there's different types of layers of stillness that you need to pay attention to. So through whichever one of these layers of stillness you pay attention to the sensation of feeling life force between your hands and the ball, you'll get an amplification of feeling of life force. So you use that particular door to move through, and you practice moving through different stillness doors to pay attention to feeling and the different gates to amplify your psychic abilities. So getting these methods mind mapped out, you'll end up with a very large mind map of training techniques on the wall. And you want to have large sheets of cardboard, all these different exercises written down, titled, and look at them and go, I'm good at that one, I need to do more on a different one. And you'll get a sense of where you're at with each exercise. And then when you have restrictions or limitations within your various practices, you'll be able to go, I'll do a bit more of that exercise, and I can dissolve that limitation and free up my mind in that way. And there's an intuitive guidance system. Your spirit already knows all this information. What we're trying to do is generate resonance with what your spirit already knows. You've done this in past incarnations, you're doing it again in this incarnation, and there's a type of tendency in the spirit to remember like resonant functions. So when you use your spirit in a similar way, so if you were, let's say, a Buddhist monk in one incarnation, and this incarnation you pay attention to the Dharma, there'll be a tendency to know what to do. You'll go, I know what to do. I just follow this tendency and follow my spirit's inner memory, my intuitive guidance system. It knows how to practice this particular exercise. So by jumping into the exercises through a stillness door, your own intuitive guidance system is going to guide you in your exercises. So the next thing we want to look at with this is, once you understand what this intuitive guidance system is, that you're simply following the tendency of something you're doing and you have an inner knowing about it, you give that tendency freedom to express itself, and guess what? It will. It can be very, very, very highly intuitive and give you a very high level insight into things that you don't have current resonance with. Excuse me. So it's much easier to do when you have a physical resonance with something. You're reading a book on Buddhism and you follow your spiritual tendency to go, that's how it works. Spiritual resonance comes into resonance, intellectual resonance with the author's experience. They synchronize for you to go, that's how it works. Now, from that, your mind, your unconscious mind, will compile these tendencies and all these different topics, and it will generate and create completely new insights and understanding through putting information together in a way that your intellect is unable to do. The intuitive tendencies will just, if you give them space and freedom to express themselves, they will reorganize information to the next level to express themselves. And this is built into our system. Okay, so I hope this helps with working on compounding your skill sets, getting into those insight mind, and further developing your spiritual path, and essentially remembering. That's what we're after, is remembering our own innate spiritual potential. Thanks for your time. See you on the next video.